Well, it doesn't feel like it today, but winter is winding down. Spring will be here before you know it, and so will tax day. Dan Boone is here from the Internal Revenue Service to tell me more about it. Dan, good to see you again.
Good to see you, Danny.
Tell us a little bit about the forms that we need to use to file our taxes with. There's still things that are up in the air, so what do we do about that? Do we need to print out new forms, or what happens?
Well, you may remember January 3rd, new tax law passed, and because of that, the IRS is sort of scrambling to get everything reprogrammed and the forms redone. There's still about 30 forms out there that IRS has not updated yet, but the good news is if most anybody can go ahead and file right now. The forms that are still left to work on, for us to work on, are not the ones like you and I would probably use for our taxes. And by next week, by the first full week of March, we hope to have all the forms updated so you can file any form you need.
Now, the forms, people put some stuff on there. What they really want to know about is their refund.
Right.
Now, what do you do if you still haven't gotten your refund from last year?
Well, you need to talk to the IRS and find out what's going on. You know, typically we're putting out refunds in about 21 days or less. Last year, that was our target. And this year, we've had to put some more filters and screening on things because of ID theft. So sometimes things do get slowed down.
All right. Now, another thing that can be slow, and it's not supposed to be, is getting your W-2 from your employer. At this point in the game, going into March, everybody should have theirs, right?
Employers are supposed to make W-2s available by the end of January, but if you run into a problem, like your employer's out of business, hopefully you saved a pay stub that shows how much you made and how much was withheld. If you'll bring that to the IRS or call us with that information, we can fill out a substitute W-2 and you can use that to file.
Now, you mentioned identity theft. What kind of effects, other than slowing down refunds, is ID theft having on what you guys do?
Well, as you know, identity theft is a problem nationwide. You know, the first thing we always tell people is don't ever give out your personal information to anybody unless you know exactly who they are and exactly what they're going to do with it. If you're in a situation though where, let's say you've lost your wallet or your purse and you think your identity may be compromised, contact the IRS. There's a whole list of people you need to contact, you know, the credit operations and all that. But contact the IRS and we can flag your account and possibly keep somebody from using your information to file a tax return.
Now, this is an important question for me and Richard, and I would assume the vast majority of people watching the show right now. Is there a tax break for low-income people, for working class, low-income people?
Yes, there is. And we remind people about this every year because it's called the Earned Income Tax Credit. If you worked any part of last year and you made less than $51,000, then there's a good chance you are eligible for an Earned Income Tax Credit. It can be worth up to $6,000. But people go in and out of eligibility for this credit, depending on whether they had a child, whether they got married or divorced, whether they got cut to part-time work. You know, any of those things could affect their eligibility. And part of the problem is sometimes people's income is so low they're not legally required to file a return, but they're eligible for the Earned Income Tax Credit and they need to file to get that money.
Because that's basically free money.
It is. Yeah,
there you go.
It sure is.
Now, really quickly, we're running low on time, Dan, but scams this time of year,
yes,
for whatever reason, I don't understand how tax scams work, but what do we need to be on the lookout for?
Well, the big one we see every year, Danny, is emails that look like they're from the IRS. So just remember the IRS does not email you about your taxes. We just don't do that. The emails look very official. They have the IRS logo. They may threaten you with an audit if you don't respond. They may tell you you've got a refund coming. Don't even click on any links or anything in there because you may be downloading malware to your computer by doing that.
So if it comes via email, it's not from the IRS?
It's not from the IRS, that's right, if it's about your taxes.
All right, super. Dan, thank you so much for being
with us. Thank you,
today.
Danny.
If you've got questions about your individual tax return, call 1-800-829-1040. Your business return, call 800-829-4933. You can find out about free tax help sites at 800-906-9887. And you can find out more online at irs.gov.